Hey y'all, it's Melissa. Welcome to MessyMissy Creates. It's time to start the new August journal, or to start making it anyway. I've been waiting for this for a while, and anyway, we're going to pick out papers and maybe do some franken-papers, and I have the book that I'm going to use. I showed you this in the last video. There's a glare, it's glossy, and I can't do anything about that. But first I want to show you, I finally got to Walmart, and let me tell you something, that's a big store, and it's hard for me to walk around. One of you told me in the comments, I haven't responded yet, but one of you told me that Target had the grid composition notebooks for 38 cents or 39 cents. Walmart had composition notebooks. They didn't have very many, and they were 38 cents, but they didn't have any grids. So I haven't had a chance to go to Target yet. But what I did find, so I didn't really go to the school supply section a lot, but what I did do is I found some other options for fabric. I found this kind of peachy, pinky, swirly, marbly kind of fabric. And then I knew one of the pages that I had disco balls on it. Clearly not the same colors. This is more of a purple and a hot pink, and I don't think I'm going to use this on the journal, but I may use it on a page. But anyway, I was showing you what I got from Walmart. Okay. So I got, because, well, I needed more ribbon, right? Yeah, as a matter of fact, when my niece and I cleaned out the crafter room the other day, she's like, how about we don't buy anymore? I'm like, okay. So here I go. This is for an upcoming project, as well as making some stuff for this journal, because I found this kind of corally peachy color, and then this is a real pale sheer pink polka dot, and this one is a kind of a standard pink. This is a hot pink with silver, and this is a pink glitter, kind of a peachy pink rose gold glitter. And then this one's for fall. Oh, I got, wait a minute, there's more. I got black rickrack. I didn't have black rickrack. I got all of my ribbon in a basket, and I lined it up, and I took a picture of it so I'd know what I had in the store. And then this is kind of like a burnt orange rickrack, again, for the fall. But, so I got this, which will be fun to use. You set it to the side. And then I went on a sticky note binge. I watched Allison's video on all her sticky notes. And I couldn't resist these. These were only like 67 cents or something like that. I got orange, and this says magenta, but that's like hot fluorescent pink. So I thought those would be fun to use in this journal. And then this one and this one, I thought I got 3 of them. There must be another one somewhere. These were not cheap. These were like almost $5 a piece, which I can't believe I even paid that for them. But this one says procrastination in progress. And look at the little lined. I couldn't resist it. And this one will definitely match this. These will make great little journaling spots for this journal. So I went ahead and sprung for it, even though I wasn't real happy about it. And then this one was like $1 something, $1.98, I don't know, whatever. Has little mini thing. It says take note, daily intentions, things to do, and do it every day. And it had it in the colors of the journal that I'm using for the most part. So I thought those would be fun, just to take up little spaces and write, you know, something. Or maybe I don't track too many habits, but I have been trying to like increase my water intake, that sort of thing. Okay, enough of that. So none of that we need for today's video. So it's going back in the bag. Well, the fabric we may need. I'm putting this one back in the bag because it doesn't match. It clearly does not match the cover. So we'll put that down there. And I am going to leave this one out because I have not decided which one I'm going to use. I could use one for the outside, one for the inside. I'm not sure I like them both. No, I'm not sure which one I want to use because I like them both. And then I pulled some embroidery thread, which I have some other colors depending on which fabric we use. So I'm going to set that to the side. And we are going to pick out papers first, I think. Actually, what I might do is go ahead and do the dreaded cut out the... I'm going to be really sad if I cut the spine, y'all. And this is a newer book, and which means it's very tight. And if you've ever taken a book apart, you know what I mean. I'm really going to try hard to keep this paper intact so I don't have to replace it. Here's my sharp one. So I'm going to, a lot of times I stand them up, but I think this time I'm not going to. I think I'm just going to try to do it very gently. And because I want to do this before I pick out the pages, just in case there are some pages in here I want to use. Now, I did that so softly, it probably did not do anything. It didn't do much, that's for sure. But last month I cut into my spine. As I was sitting here telling you, I try not to cut into my spine. And then I cut into my spine. But that is the first time I've ever done that. Well, it's the first time ever standing it up like that I cut into it. But again, it was kind of tight too. So I'm just doing it a little bit at a time. And if you've never seen this done before, I don't know that I'm the prime example, and I'm definitely not the guru of this, but sometimes less is more, and so I'm just trying to do it a little bit at a time. I know my knife is very sharp. Might not be after I get done with this. There is some seriously thick. I've gotten through the first layer of it, or at the top, but the book cloth, and the way I'm doing this is rather dangerous. Okay, not so much anymore, but when I was down close to my hand, that was probably not the best way of doing that. And I can fast forward some of this out maybe. And I don't know if you can see if I do it standing up. But I'm just trying to get... Let me try it from this side too. Because I've got the top detached. I'm just trying to get that book cloth that's right there. I'm just trying to get through that without cutting my spine. Okay, so far so good. And I want to keep that in that little piece of cardboard. I'd like to keep that in the book if I can. Let's flip it around again. Okay, I need some detachment in the center right here. So I'm pushing a little bit harder. I'm getting a little braver each time. And at some point you can just pull it. And I don't want to, I'm trying not to do that because I really don't want to damage. I'm going to start on the other side. Wait, hold on. Okay, I found my end. I think I can go in with the blade up. Right here. Nope. Blade down. And just cut a little bit at a time. Okay. This is a very slow process. So, but I thought maybe some of y'all would want to see it. And I think I've got most of this one detached a little bit. Let me see. Where am I at over here? Not quite. I think I've cut enough. Let me start on this side. Let me do a little more whittling right here. Because again, I'm trying to keep these end papers intact. So this was a sharp knife. It might not be after I get done with it. This, I did not get through that paper there apparently. There we go. Okay, now I can see I'm cutting behind the book block. There we go. Okay. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. I can put this away so I don't end up cutting myself. I think I'm done with that tool. So this is what we have. And I'm going to put fabric over this. You could cut out, if you wanted a sturdier spine, you could cut out a little piece of chipboard or cardboard and do that. I'm not going to worry about that because it's pretty stiff. It's still got the piece of cardstock in it, or cardboard. I just wanted to see, I know that I can't get these out as signatures, but I wanted to see if there was any of the book pages that I wanted to use. But I want to take my ruler, and I've got 7 1/4 about. I'm going to call it 7 1/4, and I'm going to call this 9. So I need to write that down somewhere. 9 by 7 1/4, which means we only have to take 3 inches off of our 12-inch papers, and then 7 1/4. So the whole book width, my signatures or my pages need to be 15 inches wide, right? Well, actually 14 1/2, but let's say, hold on, let me redo that. Because they'll be coming from the spine, so 7 1/2 is too long, so 7 1/4 is right. So that means they need to be 14 1/2 inches. That's going to be a little, I was thinking it was going to work out perfectly the way that I take the 3 inches off the top and then I could just glue it to the side. But anyway, let's go through here and see if there's any of these pages. See, like, these are stickers. Isn't this awesome? And oh, you know what I didn't do is I did not, get out my retro washi. So I don't know that I want any of these. They're very slick pages. I'm thinking I don't want any of them, but I've got the book block cut out just in case I change my mind. And we've got this. We'll put the fabric on it. We'll put the fabric on this side and we'll let that dry. And I've got my fabric partly ready, so I can do this. Let me open this up and see what it looks like. These little fat quarters at Walmart are only like $1.47 or something like that. $1 something 7. So it's not bad. Some places fat quarters are expensive. I'm like, it's just a piece of material. It's I think what, 12 by 18 or something like that is a fat quarter. I don't know, I just tore the tag off of it, so I don't know. But anyway, so I wanted to see this opened up and see what it would look like, because I'm tempted to, now let me get all the sticky off my hand. I've got all that sticker. Okay. I kind of wanted to see what this would look like on the inside, and then this on the outside, just so I can use both. I don't have to, but this one I would be very particular about I would kind of want, I want that coral, but I've got a little bit of the coral right here. So let's see how wide we need. We only need about, really we only need about 2 inches on the inside, but we need, I'm going to say 2.5, because you want it down in that gusset, right? By the time you push it down in there. I do have one little nick on the top. But I wanted to see what this was going to look like. So I'm going to cut, I'm going to tear a 2.5 inch strip off of here, so we can see how this is going to go. Now, I will tell you, this is going to be a 2-part video, or it's not going to be a one and done, that's for sure. Because I showed you what I got at Walmart too. And that took up a little bit of time. So let's hope that tore straight. And let's see if that's going to be enough. Yes, it is. Now, let's do the same with this one. And we'll see if we like it. I want to see what colors fall into this 2.5 inch strip. Now this one I've already torn, so it has ragged edges on both sides. I probably should have torn a piece of that first. I did not find anything with teal on it. However, I do have teal rickrack. I don't know if it's the same teal or not, but that's pretty cute. I'm afraid this is going to get washed out. And it doesn't really, it has more of the purpley pink. Or it's a little bit different color pink than that. So, I think we're going to go, I'm going to have to cut another section. The inside, we might decide based on, but I've made my mind up that I want this for my well, I got a spam calling. I can't get rid of it. Okay. All right. For whatever reason, it wouldn't let me reject that or ignore that call on my watch. So it ended up disconnecting me. So I'm going to have to piecemeal this video together anyway. So I think I'm going to allow myself a little extra and wrap it under, like tuck it under. That leaves me a little square. Actually, like glue it under, right? So let's do that. I've got my fabric tacks upside down already. So I'm going to put this, you can't see the numbers, but I've got it to where I know which line 2.5 is. So I can see where I need my glue. And we're going to get this part done so it can be drying. I've got both bottles of my Fabri-Tac. I've got a bigger bottle that needs refill. It's almost empty. And I had gotten this little bottle thinking I just would refill this bottle because it was, I moved my, it was easier using this little bottle, or it has been easier using the little bottle. I think so anyway. Okay. Let's get the top on it before it gushes everywhere. And let's get that glued on sort of straight, roughly. Want that. You can see through it a little bit. I can read the words just a hair, but that's all right. That is quite all right. Okay, so I got a little bit more of this melon color. There was a little bit more pink Like if I'd have gone in a little further, I'd have gotten more of this pink. But I got a little bit of it. So let's see. Let's flip it. And, oop, I turned it right side up. I shouldn't have done that. And I want to glue this down. And then we'll just do the fabric over the like right to here. And then that way we're not going to have any sticking out ruffles out the top and the bottom. It's coming through the page, or the material. I wanted to score that down as much as I could. Well, it's just shifting at this point. So, all right, let me glue the top. And glue to right about here, I think. Come on, string. Okay. Put that in there. Okay, so I don't need to lose which is the top and the bottom. Of my book. Now I can go through and tack this down like this. I didn't put quite enough glue, or I didn't put it far enough. But a lot of times if I'm going to go back with a ribbon or something like that, it'll catch those edges anyway. That one I did pretty well with. Okay, so we got that. So let me leave it sitting on its side. And then I'll flip it this way and we'll get another 2.5 inch piece. Where do we want it? Let's keep going from this side. So 2.5, 1, 2, 1, 2.5 is right at this this pinky color. So I'm not going to get it in that one either. Okay, so it's kind of funny how I ended up sticking with, and I never even looked again at my my piles of material. I just grabbed this one. I knew I had it. I saw it. It was sitting on top. And I knew it matched. And so I didn't overthink it this time. Go me. Go me. And I tilted you. Sorry about that. When I brought you back, I had you angled, I guess. So I'm going to glue from about here. Glue all this center. And this fabric will help to strengthen the this spine too. And the glue helps. And it's not that it's not an old book, so it wasn't like it was, you know, old and shabby or anything like that. I mean, you saw how hard of a time we had taking it apart, so it's not going anywhere. And again, I would treat this differently than I would treat a journal that I'm going to use like as a junk journal for many years. Or multiple years. Rather than this one that's just going to be a monthly journal. I don't feel like I have to do the same things to the spine that I would for one that I'm going to be using, opening and closing for, you know, because like a regular junk journal you would use for, I mean, months or years even, you know. Let's see. Again, we did good on this side. We just missed the mark on that side. So, okay. We're going to sit here and let this dry. Well, I mean, we're going to set it to the side and let it dry, and then we're going to play with paper. All right. Let that dry. Wait a minute. I do want to make sure I burnish that in pretty snug in there. Set that to the side. Put my fabric up, or up, translation is on the floor. My niece helped me clean it the other day, and she vacuumed and everything, and now I'm messing it all up again. All right, so I have these papers. These, I don't know. This is this one. This is me trying to print that one. It didn't come out even close. So these are ones that I can just play with. And I have, these are some loose ones that I had gotten. It's called Groovy Darling and Flower Child. Not sure if I'm going to use, this has an awful lot of purple in it. But that's also where I got the little bit of purple from what I put in my numbers. Because I kind of liked this piece of paper. Let's see what's on the back. Green and peace symbols. I don't know that the green is, that's not the green I probably would have chosen. This one I like, and then this one I like, but this may not make the cut. So these three are going to be maybes. This one is a definite. This one is a definite. And it's got that pinky purple on the back. And this one has, a green grid. I don't know. We'll see about this one. So I have, those are some maybe. Let's put this in the yes pile. I'm going to put those. And then I love these cassette tapes. I also could make, what's on the back of that? That's pretty. I haven't used this one yet. And I don't know if I can get any more of this. I would love to buy, I think you can buy the digital kits of these. So these are I need 16 total pages. So I think I have 4, but I can't get them apart. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is a different set than this paper pack, and this is kind of what I've been basing everything on. So it's not going to take me long to find 12 pages that I want to use out of this book. So let me see if there's anything else that I want to use. Sometimes I like to use the piano books. They're 9 inches tall, so they fit fine and they flap in. Now, I have been, let's see, here's one. That's what I meant to use in my 4th of July book, or my July book, and I couldn't find it. I knew I had one, but I'd have never gotten that on the 4th of July. So, let's see, Low and High. And Autumn Leaves, which we can cover. That's and the Snowman. So let's see what else we have. Old MacDonald. And, this is a single page. Okay. So that's different. This is Christmas. And what is this one? I don't want the Christmas in the... Here we go. A Friend Like You. Over the Deep Blue Sea. This is perfect. So let's use one of these. And maybe 2 of these. So now I'm at 6 pages. And let me put those up. I just got to remember to clean up my mess when I'm done, right? Okay, so I'm at... If I use these 4 pages, And then these three, that's 6. But let's see what we can't live without. And I kind of want to see, because like I know that this one will match. It's got enough of the orange and yellow. It's got some blue and green and stuff like that too. But this one is a little bit different. But I think it will be okay with that. It's kind of a pinkish purple. If you can see what I'm... So, do I want one of each design? There's 20 designs, so I can't have one of each. So, I think I want this one. Because I haven't used one of those yet. There's 3 of each design. This would be a good one to use. Now, I also have to keep in mind, I'm going to cut it down to 9 inches, but I'm going to either need, they're either going to be an inch short, or I need to add some paper to this side. Oh, I know what else I'm going to use. My colored paper, my dyed paper. So, but I know I'm using some of this paper pad, so we might as well just go ahead and, you know, go on with that. I don't know about that one. I like this one. I don't know if I've used that one or not yet. And this one was making good pockets. I have 2 more. If I could use one, it would make a good background. Let's pull it just to see. And I definitely like that one. I've got 3 of those. Don't really, that's not my favorite one. That's not my favorite. This is one of my favorites. What am I up to? Except I was having fun making tags with this one. All right, what am I up to now? I've got my 6, and I've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I've got random sequins everywhere. I am going to use some of my dyed paper. I think I want to use this one. Not that fond of that one. I mean, it's not my favorite. That one would make good tags. I like this one. Let's use this one. And I've lost count, but I think that's 12. Let's stop there for now. And let's see which of our papers. I found another one. I actually had hung this one outside so it didn't get laid in the flattening thing. But I wanted to see, because I think I can actually use this. I'm almost thinking I can use this turquoise. It would definitely contrast with the light turquoise that's in there. Let's see if I have a lighter one. That one's lighter. Okay, so there's one. I'm not going to try to use the green, even though, like, this paper has green in it. It has green on that side. It's not the same color green. So I wasn't planning on using the green. I do want to use these, like some of these. And that coral, and then this orange. I think I needed 4. So I think I'm going to use, oh, that pink one's ripped. That pink has some orange on it. I like that. Let's see how many we're up to now. Okay, so I have 4 colored. Now these I'm not going to have to do anything to. I'm going to have to trim them at the top, but I think they're going to line up perfectly in the book. And I don't want to fold the book yet. I want it to dry. So these we're not going to have to piece together at all. These are going to be easy. It's just going to be a matter of trimming them down to 9 inches. And I am going to do that with them folded so that they fit in my cutter. I do kind of want them straight. sort of straight. And, okay. So there's those 4 colors. Isn't that pretty? That's going to be so pretty. Pretty, pretty. Okay, so 4 and 5. Now, if I cut the top of this one off to make 9, I'm going to have to do that on all of these. Which ones can I turn this way to tape together? Does you see what I'm saying? And these are only one-sided. I'm trying to see which ones don't really matter directionally. So let's start cutting some of these down, and then we'll figure it out. Okay, so, and I may or may not use that purple one with the RV, the little buses on it. That one's really cute, but, okay, let me get my trimmer. I gotta keep up with the time. I don't know how long the first little segment was. So, let me get my little arm out. I know you can't see the bottom down here. You can't see the numbers. You just have to trust me that I'm cutting it down to 9. My inclination is to cut a little off the top and a little off the bottom, because then the corners, one corner will be flat and one will be rounded. Because these are, nope. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut. All right, little folder journal, you're getting bent. I think those are gonna stick out. Okay, so I do need to trim this down to, what I say, 7 1/4, which it's not far off of that, so it's not trimming down much. But we are taking off little slivers, and I surely don't want to throw those away. So we still have a little bit of, it wasn't enough to unround the corners. So I'm going to take a little off this. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Just do it. It actually is going to matter at the bottom, because if I try to glue on a pocket, so I'm going to make the bottom my flat, my square corner, just in case I glue a pocket onto there. And then that little itty bit is rounded a little bit. You don't barely even notice it. Okay, so now I know how I'm doing that. So we've got that under control. So I'm going 7 1/4, which just takes off a sliver. And then I'm going to the bottom and taking off, I'm just cutting it down to 9. And look at all these fun little strips I'm going to have. Y'all can help me think of what to do with those. Because you know I'm not throwing them away. Okay, this one's not... What did we do different? Okay. 7 1/4. That's barely taken off any. Yeah, that one didn't take off as much. I wonder why. And then to 9. And the same thing with this one. Line it up a little bit. And that'll work out perfectly, because I'll be able to take that bottom. There we go. It's not quite folded straight. 7 1/4. You know, I don't think I was doing, I think I did. I think I measured the first 2 wrong. Because now I'm just getting slivers. Oh well, they'll be short. It'll be okay. I'm wondering if I did them at 7 instead of 7 1/4, but I'm still doing the bottom at the height at 9. Okay, so let's take these and see. No, they look to be the same size. So I don't know, maybe the pages were different sizes. Okay, so this one, I need, this is clearly the top to me. So I need this to be 9 inches. And I want to see how, because see right now if I folded it, this would be 6 inches. Now I can have some that are smaller. See, this one would be smaller than that one. I don't want all of them to be small though, you know, because I want to be able to mix and match. Let me cut this one down, and then we're going to play with and see which ones we can tape onto the other ones. I mean, like, can we tolerate the happy faces going sideways? Maybe. Now this is going to make this a little bit long. And let's see if we can cut that down. I think that works out perfectly. I think that would be fine. So let's get these all cut down, and then we'll mix and match. And we'll play matchmaker in a minute. Okay. And I know I wanted this one. See, this one doesn't really have, I'm going to say that's the top, but it really goes all different directions, so this one will be fine. So let me do this one. See, this one doesn't matter. I'm going to call that the top. And again, not that it really matters, but I am going to have to cut this down like a ½ inch, so that's going to kind of stink. Okay, I have 4, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still have these. Let me cut. Does this one match? Yeah, that one would look good with that. So let me cut this one down. I was questioning this one. Okay. So now we have 9, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do some piecemealing before we cut any more. And well, I'm still going to need my trimmer. So I need these to be, now normally I would use these as pockets, but I'm going to need these to be 9 inches. I need to cut them at 9, which is just going to leave me this little square. I wish I had some solid, I probably have some solid pieces that I could. Do I like that one? I think I like that one better. Okay, so let's put that one with that one. And this one I like with the happy faces. So let's cut this one down to 9. So we're not going to have all the pockets. Oops, that slid. We just have a lot of these little squares, which we'll have to find something to do with them. But I like that with the happy faces. I thought that was cute. And so do we do the same, the happy faces with this one? Or maybe we go with something a little, yeah, I like this one with this one. Okay, so 9. Okay, with this little square. And see what I'm talking about? We're just going to franken-paper them together. We're going to put some cute washi down the middle. We're going to tape them with clear tape first. And then we're going to fold them in half. Actually, I've got to cut a 1/2 inch, I think an inch or a 1/2 inch off of these. So, what did I say? I need 14 1/4 is, 7 1/4 times 2 is 14 1/2. And this is 12 inches, and this is 3 inches, so that's 15. So I have to cut down a 1/2 inch. So let me find, well, let me keep putting these together, seeing how I already cut. What's my options here? Do I like that one together? Kind of like that one together, I think. Or, yeah, I don't know. I like them all. I like them all. So let's put this one with this one. Maybe we do it that way. Nope, the happy faces are upside down. Okay, that one. And then these are what's left. So that will work. Not my first choice, but that would work. There's that. And this. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to put the cutter for just a minute, and we're going to start piecing those together. And then I may finish them by myself. I still have to cut down the music paper. But I wanted to do some of this with you. Some of the words are going to be upside down no matter what I do. So let's dig. I don't know. I have that. And I had a bunch of like tangerines, and I didn't have them all in one place. There's some sunshines, and this is like that kind of pink confetti that might match. And let me dig in my other big bucket. And I think some of my teal rainbow ones are in another basket, because I saw them yesterday. I used them for, that might match. Okay, this one will match perfectly. Okay, it's kind of that tie-dyed. I think I pulled some of the boho rainbow ones for like June or July, so they're still in that basket. Purple. Well, we do have a little bit of purple, so let's try that one. Let's see what we like, and then I can always go dig in another. I want some teal. Well, this is kind of no, thought so at first, but no, not really. Okay. Now, I have solid, this might not look bad except it's shiny. And I'm not that crazy about the shiny. I'll leave it out though. Okay. So, let's dig in. This is the new batch I just got. That gold would match. Of course, it's in the very end. That one would do okay. You know what else would be cute? This one. Because even though it's floral, it has that kind of pink and teal. It's just a darker version of that. That would be cute. Okay. And then this one right here. All right. So let's pick and choose which one we want for this paper. Let's start with some clear tape. I'm going to get it lined up. So 7 inches And then this makes, no, I'm at 7 and 22, so that makes 15 inches. And I want them real close together. Let me find my clear tape. And then I just moved the paper. That was good. Good job. Just trying to get them lined up because I do want them relatively straight. So, have you ever made franken-papers? I mean, a lot of people do them with like book pages and, you know, really franken paper. But this is technically franken paper. So I'm gonna put one clear piece on the back. Now I am gonna have a lot of white pages in here because I'm dealing with a lot of single-sided pages. Now this one we're gonna have to cut a 1/2 inch off of either here or this end. So it just depends on where we want it to lay. I mean, if I cut the 1/2 inch off, it would look like that. Yeah, let's cut the 1/2 inch off though. Well, I'm saying it's a 1/2 inch. Let me lay it out on here and measure out. I can't measure out 15 inches. That's right. Actually, 12. No, I can't. It only goes to 12. So I have, what did I say I had? 15 inches? 10 to 25. So yes, that's 15 inches. And I need 14 and a half. So yeah, I'm just second guessing myself. And it's not real easy to cut a 1/2 inch. I think it's going to be right. I'm having a hard time seeing. I think it's that line right there. That's the 1/2 inch. So I'm going to countersink that in this way and then go up and then down. Now these, because they are the same height as our pages, are going to make great borders. Okay, so I should at this point be able to fold this in half. Should. And where's my bone folder? And this should measure 7 1/4. Let's see how it looks in our book. Perfect. Ooh, that's stiff. Okay. It's going to lay in there perfectly. Okay. So now we know what to do. I don't know if you want, and you're kind of crooked, I'm sorry. I don't know if you want to do the rest of them with me. But we have 5 whole pages done. And I can use more of these dyed papers too. I don't have to use all of the other ones. Let me do this one. I want the happy faces in like this. Line it up, line it up. There we go. I'm not wanting those to bend. If you wanted them to bend, you'd want to give a little gap in between them. But I'm wanting them to be whole pages. I'm not trying to make it a flip. Now, I could convince it to be a flip if I wanted it to be a flip. But right now, that's not my goal. My goal is to make a whole franken page. Now, let's see what we didn't do washi tape. Let's see what we like here. This one might be pretty on this one. Because keep in mind, this is going to be front and center on the page. So, I think that one's pretty. It's not necessarily very, I'm not trying to be boho, retro. Now, I'm going to do the same one on the back. Not that it really matters, because this will be, I mean, I could have done a different one on the back if I wanted, because you don't know what color this one's going to be up against. But I think this is safe for any of the colors that we have. Okay, I have not cut this one down yet, and I did not tape that straight. Did I cut this one down yet? Nope. Okay. Let's see, where did we say? That second line right here. I might should have cut that one off the other end and left more of the happy faces right there. But let's fold this one. And you could score that if you wanted to, but I'm just folding it, lining it up, folding it. And here, we didn't put washi on this one. That's the fun part, and we didn't even do it. What do I want? Not that one. What about this confetti? That's going to kind of blend. This one is pretty. I could do sunshines. The sunshines might be pretty on this one. Let's try the sunshines. We've already unrolled it and rolled it. It may not stick. There we go. You can barely see it, but I think that's pretty with the yellow, the faces, or the yellow happy faces. And then we'll do this side too. And try to line that up somewhat even. And then just snip. Oop, let's not cut the paper. Okay, just the washi, not the paper. Okay, so we have this one, and we have this one. And do you want to keep going? Well, that is going to depend on how much time I have spent on the first segment of this video. So, I think I'm probably going to have to call it good at this point. And we're going to have to, I'm going to have to work on some of this on my own. Nope, I want the happy faces upright. That's right. And I think I'm going to want either the purple or the teal on this one. We have this purple. It has bunnies on it, but nobody else has to know that. Because look, it matches that purple. It's kind of a pinky purple. I keep calling it purple, but it is kind of a pinky purple. Well, it may not want to play. Nope, it doesn't want to play. Not at all. Nope, it would have been cute though. Okay, let's try something else. What about this one? Would this one be good here? It's got the reds and that pink. It's not the same pink. Or tangerine. Or I could do the solid yellow on this one. I just hate that it's so shiny. Do I like the tie-dye? Have I used the tie? I haven't used the tie-dye yet. Not straight. Not straight. Okay. I think this is going to be our last one. And then I need to cut down the book pages. And then I'm going to go find, I do have a teal, I have some more washi that has like teal and rainbows and stuff like that on it. So I'm going to go find that. I think I will cut, I'm going to cut this end off. I'm going to cut And then this, I think, is our last one. Because I'm pretty sure I ran right over time. And, you know, you've seen enough. You know how the rest of it goes. I will bring you back maybe to sew it in. Put them all together and, you know, sew it in. But let's see how this one's going to look. Since we cut off the opposite end, this one's going to have more of that, you know, section of paper rather than, you know, just a smaller section. And let me find my bone folder because I want those nice and flat. So this is what we have so far. We have this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Isn't that gonna look amazing? That pink really does match that too. That was good. Okay, cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, only 11 more to go. I already have them cut. I just need to put them, I'm going to tape them together. I'm not sure. I know that I want to use this one. I'm just not sure what I want down the side of it. So I'm going to think about that one before I cut into it. And then these music pages. Yeah, here we go. So 12 and 19 at 7 inches. So 7 1/4. Like I said, I know that you can't see my numbers down here where I'm measuring, but I can. So, and just make that one even with that one. Sort of. Rather had them shorter than too long, right? Because then you got to refold them. So, okay, so now we have that one. And I don't know if I really want to use these. I might just use more of these. And that way I have color. I mean, I'm going to have enough white here. So, I don't know. I'm going to think about that. But we have that much done. And I'm going to finish putting together the rest of the papers. And then I'll come back and bring you back. Alright, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel. Comment, just say hi. What do you think of the papers? What would you do differently? Anything like that. And I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Y'all have a great day. Bye.